Shalom, shalom. Shalom, Shabbat shalom, brothers and sisters. Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Barakatah, to all my brothers and sisters. and all of the Israelites scattered worldwide throughout the four corners of the earth. I am Captain Chaza'el RIA with Officer Asherel.
Oh,
And tonight, in our Shabbat class, we're going to be talking about how brotherhood is a law. Okay, we're going to talk about how brotherhood is a law. All right. Everybody, please forgive us. I know myself, still adjusting to this time. And man, me and my brother right here, we were talking about how this time it got us into time traveling. We had to get out of that time traveling mode, but we are here. All praises be to the Most High. And first and foremost, as always, I want to give all honor, power, and glory to the Most High Yahweh in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. And before we get into the lesson tonight, a little bit, first put brothers and sisters, if you could put a 1 in the chat. If we're coming across clear, Officer Emmanuel, Shabbat Shalom, Byron, Shabbat Shalom. If you brothers can just let us know if we're coming through clear. If everything's clear, if y'all can put a 1 in the chat, we appreciate it. All praises, all praises. Shabbat Shalom. I believe that's Officer Will or Second Officer Abraham Yasharala. Shabbat Shalom to my brethren. I think we're coming across clear. Okay, all praises. Okay. Before we get started with the lesson, I did just want to say a couple of things about what happened at the Capitol on Wednesday. Okay, we with KOI, we haven't officially came out and spoke on what happened. You know, I believe we all may have said a couple of things through our post, but nothing official because we haven't had a class since it all came out. But I'm just going to speak briefly. But quite honestly, what you all are witnessing is the end of the Greco-Roman Empire. That's what you're witnessing right now. You're witnessing the end of an empire. It's the end of it. Okay. And everything that you're witnessing is exactly how we are not supposed to operate as the nation of Israel, which are the so-called blacks, Mexicans, and indigenous Indians of Seminole and Negro descent, according to archaeology, prophecy, and history. This is exactly how we're not supposed to act in our kingdom. Okay. And, you know, why are there rules? Why are there laws that we got to keep? The reason why there's rules and laws that we have to keep is because we got next. That's it and that's all. We got next. And our kingdom's going to be an everlasting kingdom forever and ever and ever. Okay? That's just it and that's all. I just want to get a couple of scriptures on it to kind of prove what we're saying. If you got something you want to speak on it real quick? You got anything you want to say real quick?
no, man. Hey, everybody better wake up, and pay attention, man. And if you're not building a stable home or a community, you know, these are the times to be trying to do that. Definitely.
That's right. That's right. And this is the time to really get it together. This is really the time the most high is showing you, you know, get your home in order, get yourself together, get your family in order, get everything in order that's been out of order in your life. Get it in order. That's what you're seeing. You're seeing the end of an empire. Okay. Let's get Genesis 25 and 21. Let's start right there, Rob. I'm going to start there.
The book of Genesis, chapter 25, at verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
And Isaac entreated the Most High for his wife, because he was barren, and the Most High was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived.
So, Salaki, okay, so Of course, this is Isaac. Most of us have read this 100 times. This is Isaac entreating the Most High, basically sending a petition up for the Most High for his wife because she couldn't have children. Okay, and the Most High heard his petition. Okay, and she conceived. She got pregnant. Read on.
And the children struggled together within her. And
Mm-hmm.
she said, if it be so, why am I thus?
Mm-hmm.
And she went to inquire of the Most High. And the Most High said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
What did it say?
2 nations are in thy womb.
2 nations. Read on.
And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger.
Mm-hmm. And the what?
The elder shall serve the younger.
So the elder child's going to be serving the younger. At the end, the elder child's going to serve the younger child. Read on.
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb.
Mm-hmm.
And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau.
They called his name Esau. Esau is the biblical definition or the biblical name for the so-called white man, the so-called Caucasian. Okay, read on.
And after that came his brother out, and his hand took on Esau's heel, took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob.
So Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel after he wrestled with the angel, Jacob's name was actually changed to Israel. He was the second son that had came out. Okay, read on.
And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Good. That's what I want to show. So in the beginning, this is the prophecy about Jacob and Esau. This is the prophecy about the nation of Israel coming through the line or the descendants as descendants from Jacob. Okay. Now let's get 2nd Esdras 6 and 7. Okay. 2nd Esdras 6 and 7.
God, the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 6 and verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth?
You see that? This is Ezra asking about the end of times. What's going to happen at the sunder and then what's going to be at the end. Read on.
And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
So stop right there. So that's exactly what we saw. Jacob held of the heel of Esau. It's going back into what we just read about the prophecy. Read on.
For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Read on again. Read that again.
For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So
Esau is going to be, Jacob is going to be the nation that's going to be ruling after Esau. Esau is going to be the end of the world as we know it, which is the rulership, okay, or the government. When you read these words, you got to kind of understand that the etymology of these words go into the Greek. And that word world goes into the Greek, which means government or cosmos, okay? So the end of the cosmos, or the end of this government, is going to be Esau, and Jacob's going to be the one that's going to follow. So the nation of Israel is going to be the one that follows, okay? Now, let's get Daniel, the book of Daniel, chapter 7. And I want to let's start at verse 15. Let's start at verse 15.
God, the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 15. Daniel was grieved in my spirit in the midst of my body, and the visions of my head troubled me. I came
Read on.
near. I came near unto one of them that stood by and asked him the truth of all this. So
Mm-hmm.
he told me and made me know the interpretation of the things.
Mm-hmm.
These great beasts, which are four kings, which shall arise out of the earth.
So this was Daniel giving the prophecy of the four kings or the four kingdoms. This is the prophecy of the four kingdoms that second officer Abraham was he had kind of gone into about the end time prophecy, which would be the ones that would be ruling. These were the rulerships. Okay, read on.
But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom
Shall
and
do what?
shall take the kingdom
Mm-hmm.
and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever.
So the saints, which are the nation of Israel, are going to take the kingdom and rule after that fourth beast. That fourth beast is the last beast, which is the Roman Greco Empire, which is the empire that we're seeing falling right now. So once the saints take over, we're not going to have what we're seeing right now. We're going to have a rulership with Hamashiach over the ruling government of the 144,000 of Israel, and we're going to be dealing in righteousness. It's all getting ready to change, brothers and sisters. And you need to be giving the Most High praise that you're living in these times to see these things, okay? Because a lot of people, when you look around at the people in the earth, they don't know what's going on. They don't know what to think. They don't know what's going on. They're lost in the sauce. And if you got brothers and sisters that are seeing these things and are trying to wake out of their strong delusion, you got to be there to help them. You got to be there to teach them and pull them out of the fire. Okay? Help pull them out of the fire, just like Hamashiach gave us a chance to come out of this fire. Each and every one of us who are in this truth. Okay? So the key to all of this, why are we talking about this? Do you actually think that you're going to be part of this kingdom that's going to arise out of the earth? Do you think that you're going to be part of this kingdom without brotherhood? Do you think that you're actually going to be allowed to hate your people or not want to be around your people, not keep gatherings, not wanting to be around your people? Do you think you're going to be able to do that according to the Most High? That's something you got to ask yourself. Because, see, a lot of you are introverts. A lot of you don't want to deal with anybody. Why you don't want to deal with anybody? Because you may be afraid somebody's going to say something to you, might correct you, might actually see what you're doing and might say, hey, man, you off. Some of you don't want any correction at all. You don't want nobody telling you nothing. You don't want to hear nothing from nobody. You want to be alone. Some of you just hate your own people. Others of you, I understand. You don't have a choice. You might be separated from people. Distance may be an issue, and you're not able to be around your people. Well, that's something totally different. But do you think you're going to be able to be in the kingdom, get this kingdom without brotherhood or sisterhood? That's what we're going to be going into tonight. And we're dealing with the brothers tonight, and I'll be dealing with the sisters tomorrow. Kind of get some edification in our Shabbat class tomorrow. But first thing I want to go into is the law. Let's get Leviticus 19 and 17. Let's start there. Leviticus 19 and 17.
All praises. The book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
Read it again.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
According to the law, we're not supposed to hate our brothers in our heart. And we're supposed to correct them when they're going off to not allow sin in their lives. Okay? A lot of us don't understand that. Read on.
Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Most High.
So you're supposed to love your neighbor as you love yourself. That's how deep the brotherhood goes. When you say that you love somebody like you love yourself, that's saying a whole lot. That's asking a whole lot. Okay, especially when you got a family. That's asking a whole lot. And that is part of the law. It's asking a whole lot because we have to be separate. We have to come out of the things that we learned in this world. What we learned in this world is it's all about me. I'm going to do me. I'm going to get mine. That's what we taught in this world. But the scriptures don't teach us that. The scriptures teach us brotherhood, family, getting our homes in order, sisterhood, loving our brothers and our sisters as ourselves. Okay. That's what the scriptures teach us. And that's kind of what we're going to go into. Okay. Let's go to 1 Peter 2:17. 1 Peter 2:17.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 2, and verse 17. Honor all men, love the brotherhood, fear Yahweh, honor the king.
We're supposed to honor all men of Israel. We're supposed to love our brotherhood, fear the Most High, fear Yahweh, keep his law, statutes, and commandments, and honor the king. Hamashiach Yahweh Shah. You understand that? We have, from beginning to end in this book, as a nation of Israel, we have a requirement when it comes down to our brotherhood. And this is the beginning of it. This is just the beginning of it. Okay. Let's get Ecclesiasticus. Let's go into Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiasticus 41. We're going to go into Ecclesiasticus 41 and let me get 14. 41 and 14.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 41 and verse 14. My children, keep discipline and peace, for wisdom that is hid and a treasure that is not seen, what profit is in them both? A man that hideth his foolishness is better than a man that hideth his wisdom.
So stop right there. So a man that hides his foolishness is better than a man that hides his wisdom. Let's say if you got some stuff that, let's just say you got some silliness going on in your life, some things you haven't quite got an understanding on. If you can keep that in check, you're better than somebody that hides the fact that they got it all together. All right, read on.
Therefore be shamefaced according to my word, for it is not good to retain all shamefacedness. Neither is it altogether approved in everything. Be ashamed of whoredom before father and mother. And
stop right there. So you're not supposed to bring whoredom around your parents. Your women are supposed to be modest. When you bring your women around your folks, you bring them in a modest manner. They don't need to be dressing like they're getting ready to climb on the pole or just got off the pole. Okay. Read on.
And of a lie before a prince and a mighty man.
So you need to be mindful of lying in front of a prince or a mighty man. Okay. Why? Because the mighty man of the Lord is going to see that. We're going to see that. Okay. And we're going to be bearing witness to your sins. Read on.
Of an offense before a judge and ruler, of iniquity before a congregation and people, of unjust dealing before thy partner and friend.
Listen, you need to be mindful of offenses before a judge and a ruler, and sin before the congregation and your people. Okay? And unjust dealing. with your partners or your friends. Don't get underhanded. Don't get shady. Don't get shisty with your friends and your partners, people you're doing business with, people that you deal with on a day-to-day basis. Don't get that way. Read on.
And of theft in regard of the place where thou sojournest, and in the regard of the truth of Yahweh and his covenant, and to lean with thine elbow upon the meats, and of scorning to give and take.
You can't not have regard of things that you do where you live, among the people that you're around, and most of the time, and it's truth, we're dealing with our brothers. We're dealing, in a lot of ways with our brothers and our own people. You got to be mindful of how you move around all of your people. Be circumspect. Okay. That's why the scripture starts off talking about being shamefaced. Why you got to be shamefaced? Because you do want to be mindful of the things that you say and the things that you do. Okay. You want to deal with your brothers righteously in all manner. Okay. Read on.
And of silence before them that salute thee, and to look upon an harlot.
Okay, read verse 20 again.
And of silence before them that salute thee.
So stop right there. Stop right there. So the ones that salute you, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah, you salute them back. You give them the same blessing. You give them the same respect. You show them that you're a mighty man of the Lord too. You don't sit there and just be like, oh, whatever. I'm dealing with that nigga. You don't deal like that. Okay? You don't operate like that with your brothers. He salutes you, you salute him back. You give him the same respect that he gave you. Read on.
And to look upon a harlot.
And to look upon a harlot. Be mindful of that. Because when you're sitting here looking at these harlots, or these women that are dressed like harlots, acting like harlots, you got to remember some of them sisters are doing that for the attention to cause strife between men. A lot of times that's what it is. It's about attention. Okay. And there's a bad spirit on that. And we got that bad among our people to where, you let your women walk around here looking any kind of way. Brothers is looking at them. And then all of a sudden, here come Jake trying to check somebody. Hey, man, you looking at my woman? Well, look what she got on. How can I not look at her? Now me and you got a problem. Because she should have stayed over there, or she should have been dressed a certain kind of way. You understand? There's a lot of strife in our nation based off of the way we allow our women to and fro among each other. And wars have been started over that. Look it up in history. Wars have been started over that. Over women playing the harlot and being hoes. I just have to call it what it is. Okay? Because that's what the Bible's calling them. All right? Read on,
And to turn away thy face from thy kinsmen.
Stop. Turn away thy face from thy kinsmen. Turn away from your kinfolk when they need you. Turning away from them. Okay, there's a whole lot of that in our nation. A whole lot of that in our nation. There's family members I can't deal with right now. Simply because I don't eat pork. Because I don't eat pork. I don't keep Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving. I'm cut off from a lot of my kinfolk because of that. And that's directly against the scripture. But the Messiah said, if they hated me, they're going to hate you for my name's sake. All right. That's just what it is. We're not wavering. We're not wavering when it comes to this law. Okay. Let the Most High be true and every man a lie. Read on that. Verse 21.
God. And to turn away thy face from thy kinsmen, or to take away a portion or a gift, or to gaze upon another man's wife.
Or to what?
gaze upon another man's wife.
How many brothers have been put to death for that? This real life we talking about right here, and it has absolutely everything to do with our brotherhood in Israel. Everything to do with our brotherhood in Israel. Okay, we got to come back to the law, man. we gotta come back to the law. We just have to understand who we are and how we operate among each other in our brotherhood, and how it is the law to operate under the guise of brotherhood. Okay, go ahead, read on. We're gonna finish the chapter. Go ahead.
Verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
Are to be over busy with his maid, and come not near her bed, or of the upbraiding speeches before friends. And after thou hast given, upbraid not.
Mm-hmm.
That's like running game.
Yeah, that's all it is. You basically running game here or there with all your brothers and sisters, and then act like you're not running game. That's all it is. Playing games. And how many brothers is on that? That's a problem in Israel. Everything that we're reading about right here has everything to do with the brotherhood. Read on.
Or of iterating and speaking again that which thou hast heard, and of revealing of secrets.
Read that one more time.
Or of iterating and speaking again that which thou hast heard, and of revealing of secrets.
Running your damn mouth. See, when men sit down and converse, a lot of times we speak to each other in a totally different manner than we would speak to our families. Okay, there's a certain code that men and women have among each other when they speak to each other, and it's just us alone. Now, when you go and run your mouth about that to somebody else and start revealing secrets, that's totally against brotherhood. You wonder why you can't have brotherhood with some of these. This is why we can't be around a lot of these jakes. Why? Because you can't tell them nothing. You can't confide in them. Because they're going to turn around, run their mouth, retell a story to somebody else from their interpretation. And next thing you know, the damn story done been told 5 different ways. Now it get back to you. And now I got to confront him about something that I didn't even say. and then I'm confronting you not only about something I didn't say, I'm confronting you about something you didn't say. Because the story done been changed 3 or 4 times because you running your mouth. Read on that.
Verse 24. So shalt thou be truly shamefaced and find favor before all men.
Listen, if you can skip through all of that and keep all of that from happening and keep from operating in those ways, you will find favor among your brethren. You'll find favor among them. These are guidelines. These are certain guidelines to keep you from falling out of bounds. And if we don't have any way to govern our behavior, how else are we going to be able to keep our brotherhood strong? Okay? How is you going to be able to keep your brotherhood strong? If you're not able to do these things and you're not able to operate in this manner, there's a good chance that you're going to find yourself digressing away from brotherhood and not wanting to be around brothers. Why? Because a lot of these brothers out here in Israel, they're real men. A lot of us are real men, and we gonna check your spirit, and we're gonna tell you to check your spirit, especially if you're among KOI, you among these mighty men. Somebody's gonna tell you to check your spirit, especially if you off. You coming with a feminine spirit, you acting off, you a little soft and timid. You're not walking steadfast according to the scripture. A brother might pull you to the side and ask you what's going on with you. Do we need to sit you down and have counsel? Or no, matter of fact, let's just have counsel. Not even ask you. Let's just have counsel. Okay. Shalom, brothers and sisters. Yahaba Shemiah Shabrakatah. Now, let's go. Let's get Ecclesiastes chapter 4. Ecclesiastes chapter 4. And I'm going to get verse 8. And if you all are watching, please like and subscribe if you are getting some edification here tonight with us. That way, that does help the algorithm go out. So other brothers and sisters can be edified. And that's really the goal, is getting as many of our people to be edified in the word as we can. Okay. Let's get Ecclesiastes 4 and 8. Okay. Whenever you got it, brother.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4 and verse 8. There is one alone, and there is not a second.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he hath neither child nor brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yet is there no end of all his labor. Neither is his eye satisfied with riches. Neither saith he, for whom do I labor and bereave my soul of good? There is also vanity, yeah, it is a sore travail.
It's hard to be the only one. It's hard to be alone. Okay. We're not called to be alone, right? This is a selfish way of living in a lot of ways. We're not called to be alone. Read on.
Two are better than one,
Mm-hmm.
because they have good reward for their labor.
Read.
For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow, but woe to him that is alone when he falleth. For he hath not another to help him up.
Read verse 10 one more time.
For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow.
Stop right there. So if you fall and you have a brother, if I slip and I'm falling into a cliff, Officer Asherel right here is going to help me up. Read on.
Again, if two lie together,
No. Start from verse 10 again.
For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow.
Mm-hmm.
But woe to him that is alone when he falleth.
Mm-hmm.
For he hath not another to help him.
That word woe means destruction. So destruction to him that is alone when he falls, because he doesn't have anybody to help him up. He out of there. Read.
Again, if two lie together, then they have heat.
Mm-hmm.
But how can one be warm alone?
How can one be warm alone? Read.
And if one prevail against him, two shall withstand him.
Mm-hmm.
And a threefold cord is not quickly broken.
So two can withstand him, but a threefold cord is not quickly broken. It's going to be harder for that. You understand? All praises, all praises. Officer Mordecai in beliefs. Shabbat Shalom. Yahbashim Yashabrakatah. Good to have you, brother. And that's the whole key. When you're alone, it's going to be easier for you to be broken than it would be if you had two or three. If I had one cord, how can I strengthen that one cord by itself? If I have three cords, I can twine them together. I could literally pull myself up. You can pull other people up with a 3/4 cord. And that's the whole point of not being alone. Okay. Let's get First Maccabees. We're gonna go back in the Apocrypha. Let's get First Maccabees, chapter 12. First Maccabees, chapter 12. And we're gonna start at verse 1.
the book of First Maccabees, chapter 12 and verse 1. And when Jonathan saw that time served him, he chose certain men and sent them to Rome for to confirm and renew the friendship that they had with them. He sent letters also to the Lacedaemonians and to other places for the same purpose.
This is Israel building alliances, okay, in that time of during the Greek captivity. Go ahead.
So they went unto Rome and entered into the Senate and said, Jonathan the high priest and the people of the Jews sent us unto you, to the end ye should renew the friendship which ye had with them, and league as in former time. Upon this the Romans gave them letters unto the governors of every place, that they should bring them into the land of Judea peaceably. And this is the copy of the letters which Jonathan wrote to the Lacedaemonians. Jonathan the high priest and the elders of the nation and the priests, the other of the Jews, unto the Lacedaemonians their brethren send greeting. There were letters sent in times past unto Onias the high priest from Darius, who reigned then among you, to signify that ye are our brethren, as the copy here underwritten doth specify. At which time Onias entreated the ambassador that was sent honorably and received the letters, wherein declaration was made of the league and friendship. Therefore we also, albeit we need none of these things, that we have the holy books of Scripture in our hands to comfort us, have nevertheless attempted to send unto you the renewing of brotherhood and friendship, lest we should become strangers unto you altogether, for there is a long time past since ye sent unto us.
See, this is even during the time where Israel was broken, where they look back at history of Onias reaching out to regain the brotherhood. During the time of wars among Israel, we still looked to bring back brotherhood, still looked to fix things among each other, okay? Still was working to try to build the brotherhood and make things stronger, okay? Still trying to make things stronger. Even though in times past, like we reading, even in times past, we were separated. We looked at y'all totally different in times past. We were still reaching out for friendship and brotherhood. You understand that? That's the whole point. Looking back for friendship and brotherhood, which we don't do. It's like once the brotherhood is broken, or once we done got at each other, that's it. I'm not dealing with you ever again. No, that's not the way the scriptures. We're not supposed to have hate in our heart or bear a grudge. That's what the law says. We're not supposed to bear grudges. So if you got a problem with a brother, you're supposed to tell him. If you can't tell him, send him a letter. There's nothing wrong with that. Send him an email, shoot him a text. You know what I'm saying? Or send it snail mail. Okay, the brother still got an address, send him a letter. Write him a letter. Go to his house. Reach out to him. You understand? That's what Israel always did. Because when we get back into the kingdom, that's the way we're going to operate. Niggas ain't going to be able to be niggas no more. Okay, because that's what it is. It's niggerdom. And we got to get away from that. Because this is about brotherhood. And for us to build this kingdom, it's got to be built on brotherhood. It's got to be built on brotherhood. Or that 3-4 cord is broken. That's the whole point. Okay? Read on that.
I got it.
I think we're on verse 13.
No.
Verse 10.
Have nevertheless attempted to send unto you for the renewing of brotherhood and friendship, lest we should become strangers unto you altogether. For there is a long time past since ye sent unto us. We therefore at all times without ceasing, both in our feasts and over convenient days, do remember you in the sacrifices which we offer, and in our prayers as reason is, and as it becometh us to think upon our brethren. And we are right glad of your honor.
This is the whole point. Stop right there. We are right glad of your honor. We honor you as brothers. I honor each and every one of you as brothers because you are in my thoughts and prayers. Okay. I wish I could keep all of my feast days with you, brothers. This is the way we're supposed to function. Okay. This is what we're reading about what Ananias did, the high priest. Okay. And they're using the example of the history of Israel and how to operate under the heathen, because the heathen don't have no, they don't have no law to fix. You see them now up at the Capitol, they're like roaches, climbing on the walls, jumping over fences. I mean, they're literally like roaches. Like the lights came on and roaches were everywhere. Okay. That's the opposite of how Israel's supposed to behave according to Brotherhood. Okay. That's not our fight. None of that is our fight. This is our fight, is brotherhood. Okay. Let's build this brotherhood, because when it's our turn, once it's our turn, it's forever and ever. And ain't nothing gonna come in between our brotherhood. Okay. Read on up.
And we are right glad of your honor. As for ourselves, we have had great troubles and wars on every side. For so much as the kings that are round about us have fought against us.
You see that? They've had many wars. There's histories of wars among Israel round about us. Read on.
For we have help from heaven that succoureth us, as we are delivered from our enemies, and our enemies are brought under foot.
Because the Most High is going to secure Israel. And anytime we come up against our enemies, he's going to secure us once we come into the kingdom. Okay, read on.
For this cause we choose Nunius, the son of Antiochus, and Antipater, the son of Jason, and sent them unto the Romans to renew the amity that we had with them, and the former league. We command them also to go unto you, and to salute and to deliver you our letters concerning the renewing of our brotherhood.
Concerning what?
The renewing of our brotherhood.
Good. Read on.
Wherefore now ye shall do well to give us an answer thereto. And this is the copy of the letters which Anieres sent. Arius, king of Lacedaemonians, to Anias, the high priest, greeting. It is found.
This is the king. This is the king of the Lacedaemonians to Anias, the high priest. These are Israelites. Okay, because there was times, you got to remember, during the Greek captivity, the Greeks had everybody fighting for them. Okay, even Israelites. I mean, it's the same thing the so-called white man does now. You know, they'll have their own people fighting against you. You think that there's not, people that have the nationality of so-called Middle Easterns that are fighting for the United States, that are fighting their own people. It's the same thing. Same thing that happened during the time of the Greeks. The Greeks had different sets. They went and gathered all kinds of peoples to fight against Israel and to fight against the Jews. Because we're mighty men. You're going to have to get strangers to fight for you. And a lot of those strangers were our brothers and sisters, okay? That would take on money to fight anybody, okay? Because they were Hellenized, all right? Read on that. Verse 21.
It is found in writing that the Lacedaemonians and Jews are brethren, and that they are the stock of Abraham.
Read that again.
It is found in writing that the Lacedaemonians and Jews are brethren, and that they are the stock of Abraham.
You see that? The same line, same people fighting on different sides of the war, still looking to rebuild brotherhood. Read on.
Now, therefore, since this is come to our knowledge, ye shall do well to write unto us of your prosperity.
Mm-hmm.
We do write back again to you that our cattle and goods are ours, and ours are yours. We do command, therefore, our ambassadors to make report unto you on this wise.
So what we have is yours. What you have is ours. As brothers, we can share, we can do things together. Read on.
Now, when Jonathan heard that Demetrius, princes, Demetrius, princes are come to fight against him with a greater host than afore, he removed from Jerusalem and met them in the land of Amethyst, for he gave them no respite to enter his country. He sent spies also unto their tents, who came again and told him that they were appointed to come upon them in the night season. Wherefore, so soon as the sun was down, Jonathan commanded his men to watch and to be in arms, that all the night long they might be ready to fight. Also he sent forth sentinels round about the host. And when the adversaries heard that Jonathan and his men were ready for battle, they feared and trembled in their hearts, and they kindled fires in their camp.
You see that? That's the point of brotherhood. Because once we become united, once we become a united front in Israel, everybody that's going to face us is going to be scared. They ain't going to want it. Right now, the nation of Israel is, to the other nations, is pretty much a joke because we fighting each other. They know we're going to fight each other. What happens when blacks and so-called blacks and Latinos realize who the enemy really is? Stop shooting each other, stop killing each other, and go after the enemy. Be afraid. Be very afraid, because that time's coming. That time is coming. Let's get 1 Samuel chapter 30. 1 Samuel chapter 30. And let's get verse 18. Shalom, Ms. Pierce. Shalom, shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, King Ruby. Shabbat shalom. Oh, Salakia, I got a question before you go into that. King Ruby asked a good question. What if that brother is lost in the world in sin? Okay, that's a very, very good question. If the brother's lost in sin, then you correct him. You show him where he's off. The scriptures say after 2 or 3 admonishments, you're supposed to reject him. If you done corrected this brother 2 or 3 times about the same sin, yeah, shake your dust off. You know, you're not supposed to give that which is holy unto the dogs, nor cast your pearls before swine. That's what the scriptures say. You know, so at some point, yeah, you correct the brother, you help the brother, you give him his warning, you show him where he's off. You know, sometimes brothers may need more than one time. You know, they may have something going on in their life. They may have to make an adjustment, still may not have it right. You know I did. You know, when I came into the truth, there were things that, you know, I was trying to get right myself. And sometimes it took an adjustment. You may, you know, even in that adjustment, I may have been wrong. But then all praises to the Most High He gives us grace and mercy. so we can get it right. And we are supposed to give them an opportunity to get it right. But after the second, third, and not admonishment, scriptures say to reject them, and that's just what we have to do. Okay, if the brother can't get it, if the brother can't get it after 2 or 3 times, you got to shake the dust. And you're right. 2/3 of our people are going to be cut off. That's it, and that's all. Okay, let's get 1 Samuel chapter 30, verse 18.
God, the book of 1 Samuel chapter 30 and verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
And David recovered all that the Amalekites had carried away. And David rescued his 2 wives.
Stop right there. These Amalekites. This is Amalek. These are these so-called Jews. These fake Jews. These 2-legged rats. Okay. This is their biblical identity. Okay. This is our King David recovering all that they carried away, and King David rescued 2 of his wives from Amalekites. Okay. Read on.
And there was nothing lacking to them, neither small nor great.
Mm-hmm.
Neither sons nor daughters, neither spoil nor anything that they had taken to them. David recovered all.
He recovered all of it. All of it. Okay. You didn't lose a thing. Read on.
And David took all the flocks and the herds which they drave before those other cattle, and said, This is David's spoil.
Mm-hmm.
And David came to the 200 men, which were so faint that they could not follow David, whom they had made also to abide at the brook Besor.
Mm-hmm.
And they went forth to meet David and to meet the people that were with him. And when David came near to the people, he saluted them.
He saluted them. He's the king, and he saluted them. Read.
Then answered all the wicked men and men of Belial, and those that went with David, and said, Because they went not with us, we will not give them aught of the spoil that we have recovered, save to every man his wife and his children, that they may lead them away and depart.
So you didn't go away with us in battle. You didn't rock with us as brothers. You don't get to get the spoils that we get, but the brothers that did, you rock with us. You rocked with us, we're gonna rock with you. Okay, go ahead.
We will not give aught of them. We will not give them out of the spoil that we have recovered, save to every man his wife and his children, that they may lead them away and depart.
Mm-hmm.
Then said David, Ye shall not do so, my brethren, which the Most High have given us, who have preserved us and delivered the company that came against us into our hand.
So this was the matter of the Amalekites that King David had brought forth to his men. Okay, this is a clear-cut separation, which really built a lot of faith men had in King David. Okay, because he was loyal to his men. You rock because David could have clearly took all the spoils instead of going that way. The king could have went that way. You know what I'm saying? He could have went off with his stuff and just say, you know what? I got it already. I can go that way. But what did he do? He went to his brothers and he said, look, after this battle, I know y'all are faint. Y'all still trying to recover. Here's your spoil. Here's your spoil. Here's your spoil. He broke bread with them. He was loyal to them as brothers. And that's what we got to get back to, is being loyal as brothers. Too many of our leaders will be quick to take their money and what they got and be gone. You'll never see them again. And you done gave everything you could to fight for them, because that's what happened right here. A lot of these brothers, they gave everything they had to fight for the king. And he came back and gave them their just due. And that is the way you operate in righteousness with your brothers. Okay. That is the whole purpose of why King David's stories are so popular among Israel and among the scriptures. because there are certain instances that you can't find anywhere else when it comes to rulership and brotherhood. Okay, you just can't find them. Let's get the book of Acts, chapter 21. Let's get Acts 21. And we're going to get verse 4. Acts 21, verse 4. I think that's what I want. Yeah.
Time. And finding disciples, we tarried there 7 days, who said to Paul through the Spirit that he should not go up to Jerusalem. And when we had accomplished those days, we departed and went our way. And they all brought us on our way with wives and children, till we were out of the city, and we kneeled down on the shore and prayed.
So this is the story of the apostles before they decided to say, "Hey, Paul, don't go up there." You know what I'm saying? Don't go up there. This Peter and them. Nah, we gonna go up there. We gonna deal with the Jews because this is our command. We're commanded to go up there. But before they went to the Jews and to the Gentiles, before they separated, here we are. They're bowing and praying together. Okay, read on.
Verse 6. And when we had taken our leave one of another, we took ship, and they returned home again. And when we had finished our course from Tyre, we came to Ptolemais, and saluted the brethren and abode with them 1 day.
So that's the whole. If you notice how the brotherhood works, the brotherhood's always working together before we depart. When we come back together, it's always a salute. It's always love. It's always respect. It's always prayer. We're always breaking bread with each other. Okay? Because these are perilous times that we're reading about, just like the times that we in now. And we got to understand how important this brotherhood is. Okay? Brotherhood and salutes were always ways. They were always a way of our nation. That was always the way our nation operated. Brotherhoods and salutes. Okay? We always operated that way. Let's get Hebrews 13 and 24. Hebrews 13 and 24. And if you don't know this, and you don't have this highlighted in your scriptures or your book, I need y'all to highlight this. I need y'all to make a note, take a picture, write it down. I don't care. Never forget this one. Read this.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 13, and verse 24. Salute all them that have rule over you and all the saints. They affectionately salute you.
Read that one more time.
Salute all them that have rule over you and all the saints. They of Italy salute you.
So you salute the elders, the officers who are over you. And ladies, always salute your king or your head. Always. You always salute your elders and your officers, and your ladies, the ladies need to always salute their king or their head. Always. That's the way we operate as a nation of brotherhood and sisterhood. Okay. People don't understand that because we're on another level of thinking. This is a spiritual understanding when it comes to brotherhood and sisterhood. The world's going to look at it like, what? Are they going to fight? Are they going to argue? No, this is a salute, and it ain't got nothing to do with you. So move on. I'm gonna salute this brother because I'm praying for this brother, and it's a salute. It's a salute, and it's a blessing, all at the same time. It's a greeting and a blessing, all at the same time. And guess what? Truth be told, it's actually a curse for the heathen. We can send that same blessing that we give each other. It turns into a curse for them. Okay, so you using that same Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Barakatah to each other. That's a blessing to us. Why? Because we're part of the covenant. The ones that are not part of the covenant, that turns into a curse for them. And that's why we got to be stronger and be more kept in our brotherhood. Okay, and why we need to have a better understanding of how our brotherhood is our law. Brotherhood is a law in the nation of Israel. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the Apocrypha. Let's get the book of Tobit. Tobit 5. And I'm going to start at verse 4. Let's start at verse 4.
God, the book of Tobit, chapter 5 and verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, when he went to seek a man, he found Raphael that was an angel.
Mm-hmm.
But he knew not, and he said unto him, Canst thou go with me to Rages? And knowest thou those places well?
Mm-hmm.
To whom the angel said, I will go with thee, and I know the way well, for I have lodged with our brother Gabael.
Uh-huh. Come on.
Then Tobias said unto him, Tarry for me till I tell my father. Then he said unto him, Go and tarry not.
Mm-hmm.
So he went in and said to his father, Behold, I have found one which will go with me. Then he said, Call him unto me, that I may know of what tribe he is, and whether he be a trusty man to go with thee.
Call him in here, Salakia. Call him in here so I can know what tribe he's from and if we can trust him. Trust him. So I can know if we can trust him. Read on.
So he called them, and he came in, and they saluted one another.
Mm-hmm.
Then Tobit said unto him, Brother, show me of what tribe and family thou art.
Mm-hmm.
What's that you from?
Con. Right. What set you from? Where you from again? What's your neighborhood? What's your daddy's name? You see that? You see that? We need to know who you is. Who are you? We need to know who you are. You see that? This brotherhood right here. And watch what he gonna say. Watch how it play out. Read on.
To whom he said, Dost thou seek for a tribe or family, or a higher man to go with thy son? Then Tobit said unto him, I would know, brother, thy kindred and name.
Mm-hmm.
Then he said, I am Azorius, the son of Ananias the Great, and of thy brother.
And of what?
Of thy brethren.
And of thy brethren. We brothers. Read on.
Then Tobit said, Thou art welcome, brother. Be not now angry with me, because I have inquired to know thy tribe and thy family. For
Don't
thou
get mad at me. Don't get mad at me because it was a set. It just a set check, homie. That's all it was. That's all it was. Read on.
For thou art my brother of an honest and good stock. For I know Ananias and Jonathan, sons of that great Samias. And we went together to Jerusalem to worship and offered the firstborn and the tenth of the fruits, and they were not seduced with the error of our brethren. My brother, thou art of a good stock.
Thou art of a good stock. Okay. King Ruby said, check the paperwork. God, we have to check the paperwork on some of these jakes, man. Some of these people coming in here, man, they're tears. Okay. That was why Tobit's dad was like, bring him in here. I need to find out who his daddy is to see if we can trust him. And once it was determined, see, once the brotherhood is determined, it should never be broken. Ever. It should never be broken. Once that brotherhood is determined, it just should never be broken. Okay. My last scripture is in the book of John. Let's get the book of John. John 15. John chapter 15. And I'm going to start let's start at let's start at verse let's start at verse 11. All right.
Book of John, chapter 15 and verse 11. These things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full.
Mm-hmm.
This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you.
Mm-hmm.
Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends.
Read verse 13 again.
Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends.
Everybody understand that? That's very clear and direct. All right. Read on.
Slacky. Ye are my friends, if ye do whatsoever I command you.
Mm-hmm.
Henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth, but I have called you friends. For all things that I have heard of my Father, I have made known unto you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, that's just like with them secret societies and stuff. They, if you my friend, but you hiding stuff from me, you know what I'm saying? Keep
Why
them, keep
why is it a secret?
exactly. Why it got to be a secret? Put it on the
Right.
table.
Right.
Kind
Right. If you friends, if we really brothers, what is there to hide?
Mhm.
And that's the power. Honestly, that's the power in the dark side of those societies, because only a certain few know certain things and the rest don't know nothing. That's the power in it. It's really a form of oppression. It's a different form of oppression, is really what it is. But they call it a brotherhood. It's not a brotherhood. It's not a brotherhood at all.
What's it? Oh, but I
Uh,
have called you friends. For
mm-hmm,
all things that I have heard of my Father, I have made known unto you. Ye
mm-hmm,
have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you, that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it to you.
mm-hmm,
These things I command you, that ye love one another.
mm-hmm.
If the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you.
You see that? So don't even worry about brothers and sisters hating you. Hamashiach said, the world hated me before it hated you. Get used to it. Most High told Job to gird up his loins like a man, because I'm finna put you through it. Bring it out. Mm-hmm,
If ye were of the world would love his own. But
mm-hmm.
because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hated you.
You notice how everybody that celebrates Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving, they go along with society, they get along with everybody. They just get along with everybody. It's not a problem. But the minute you say, hey, wait a minute, can y'all prove that the Messiah was born December 25th? Now all of a sudden, they're throwing rocks at you. They're throwing rocks at you, trying to fight you. No, you got to go. I can't be around you. Hey, look, I literally have a family member that will not allow, we're no longer welcome at their house because we keep the Sabbath. Because we keep the Sabbath, they can't handle our lifestyle and we're not welcome at their house. That's what the Messiah was talking about. We're chosen out of the world. But if I was going to the club doing drugs, if I was banging chick to chick, you know what I'm saying, wasn't taking care of my kids, gang banging, and I just came back and just wanted to stay, it wouldn't be a problem. But because I keep the Sabbath, nigga, you and your kids, y'all got to go. We can't make this up. We can't make this up. All right. That's the wickedness of the world. And that's why we have to be separate and why we got to build our brotherhood in this truth. That's why. Okay. Read on. Bring it home in verse 20.
Remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord, than his master. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal, Israel. Okay. This is why I would lay down my life for these mighty men here at KOI. Because I know that they do what the Most High is calling them to do. There's no greater love than that. We on the front line. I go on the front line with any of these brothers right here. You know, I don't care about what the rank says. I care about what the Most High say. And I know I can trust any of these brothers with my life and my family's life. And we all need to be in that place in brotherhood. We all need to be in that place because the time's going to come, Israel, where we ain't going to have nowhere else to turn but each other. The time is going to come. You mark my words. And if you are so-called Black, so-called Mexican, Native, Indigenous Indian of Seminole and Negro descent, you're watching this. And you getting a hint of who you are, take a look at what's happening around the world. Just think about it. Those people that were in DC, if they're willing to do that and act like that over President of the United States, over one man, one office, what would they do if it's their whole nation at stake? We got to get it together, Israel. We got to get it together. We got to understand who are your people and who are not your people. Leave it to the Christian church. They'll have Dylan Roof up in there gunning us down every weekend. Because God love everybody. Turn the other cheek. That ain't got nothing to do with turning the other cheek. That's our problem now. We've been turning the other cheek for too long. Our people need to gather ourselves and know who their enemies and friends are. And it's like the Messiah says, who are my brother and my sister? The ones that do the will of my Father, which is in heaven. And that's what we got to come to, and Akim, and Akwath, my brothers and my sisters. That's what we got to come to. We got to get to that point in our lives to where we understand who our brothers and sisters are and who our enemies are. Okay. I really hope and pray. My prayer and my hopes is that this lesson tonight was edifying and reached every single one of you in peace, love, and edification. I want to give an applause to my officer at Chaza'el Tapa. My man right here always come through for me. All praises. I appreciate that. The water, Yahabashim Yashabrakatata, my brother. I really, really appreciate it. I want to give a shout out to all the brothers and sisters in the chat who have joined us, all the officers, all the sisters, all the families that have been joining us. I also want to give a shout out to the 12 tribes of Israel scattered abroad. I want to give double honors to the elders and messengers of the covenant. And as always, I want to give all honor, power, and glory to the Most High Yahweh in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. And with that, say Shabbat Shalom.